Hey guys, it's Jess here from Jesslyn Coaching and Healing. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe. And if you're not new, hit that like button. You know what to do. As I was recording another video for you guys, I started thinking about when we put conditions on our manifestations, when we blame secondary cause, when we think we have to do something in order to get something in the outer world, which is not true at all. And it just creates drama and upsets and distractions and detours and unnecessary crap that can be avoided for the better. So many years I have been a musician, a writer, an artist. And for the longest time, I believed that I needed to use cannabis, marijuana, pot, weed, Mary Jane, whatever you want to call it. I thought that in order to be inspired, to be able to create, to be able to go through this creative process of making music, that I would have to use weed, that I would have to smoke weed in order to create things. And I had this dependency on an external thing in order to have an internal experience when I had it completely backwards. And then I believed that if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to do it. So when I tried to quit in high school, I only lasted about 10 or 11 months because I believed that without it, I couldn't create music. And guess what? I couldn't create music. And then when I quit again in college after my first year, guess what happened? I had writer's block. I was struggling to create music. I got depressed. I started feeling all kinds of things. And you know what? I created that reality. I believed if I didn't have cannabis, that I wouldn't be able to create. So I couldn't create. And I went down this whole dark path and I had a dark night of the soul experience, which led me to mentors and teachers and healers and the right books. I started, watching videos. I was reintroduced to the law of attraction. I was introduced to new thought teachers, different spiritual practices. I tried to meditate. My idea of meditation was to sit on my floor, crisscross applesauce, and turn off my thoughts. And I was like, how the fuck do I turn off my thoughts? This is crazy. And then I kind of gave up, and then I veered off and went a whole other direction. Lots of different things happened. I didn't smoke cannabis, weed, pot, whatever you want to call it. I didn't smoke it for 9 years, not a single time. And the journey I went through was becoming a child and youth worker, being a behavior specialist, working with children, youth, and families. I had kids. I was engaged. That didn't work out for me and them. It's okay. I dedicated myself to my family and my career, and I didn't express myself creatively with music as much. And then I created the habit of drinking, and I basically replaced one habit for another. But it was my belief, it was my thoughts, it was my assumptions that I needed something outside of me in order to create things. When in all actuality, it comes from within. I don't need anything to create. So I got back into cannabis again, and this was very short-lived after 9 years. And I noticed that I was starting to have mania. Like it was almost like bipolar symptoms. And I was experiencing like very grandiose, superior narcissistic tendencies. And I thought like I was better than everybody. And I started getting a little cuckoo lovingly. But I believed that if I had that substance, then I would be able to create all these big, amazing things and I would be famous and blah, 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 blah. Not true. I actually blew up my whole life, not literally, but I I had another dark night of the soul experience, which led me to stopping. I just stopped. One day I was in my kitchen and I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit. I don't need something in order to have something. I don't need this to experience this. I can have whatever I want because I believe in that. I don't need some plant. I don't need some drink. And I'm proud to say I haven't drank alcohol in 5 years. I haven't used cannabis, marijuana, pot in 2 years this month. I just stopped. I dropped it. And this morning I was sitting in my Jeep and I thought, am I moving through one greater than John? Like, the state of John the Baptist. Neville has a lecture on that, Neville Goddard. And I thought, I had my experiences. I gave violence to my desires. And right now, I don't desire to use cannabis. I don't desire to drink alcohol. And I feel better. And I don't feel like I'm missing out anymore. I used to have the whole fear of missing out thing. But I don't now. I enjoy my space. I enjoy my alone time. I enjoy going out sober. I don't need to use things. I enjoy the experience of having a clear mind, body, and soul. And I feel that for me, that it's just not for me anymore. I don't need any of that. That is my belief. That is my assumption. And that's where I'm at today. And I'm very proud of that. I do enjoy medicinal mushrooms, not magical. I love reishi, lion's mane, cordyceps, turkey tail, chaga. I love those things. I love adaptogens. I love natural things that aren't psychedelic and they're just relaxing or calming. I've given life to that. I drink mushroom coffee every single day and I thoroughly enjoy it and it feels good for me. And I've gotten to a place where I don't judge people and I accept people where they are at with that journey. I used to have a hard time with it. For me, my new challenge is chemicals. So like opiates and narcotics and hard drugs. And I've lost a lot of people on the journey from those drugs, whatever beliefs they had about them and about themselves. And, they left their body a lot sooner than I believe they should have. Maybe that was their sacrificial incarnation to help other people to wake up. I don't know. But that's the part that I'm working on, my beliefs, my assumptions about hard drugs. I was exposed to them at a very young age, living beside a drug dealer as a teenager. I saw things, I did things that most teenagers probably shouldn't experience, but it's made me who I am today. I forgive myself, I forgive others. I have done a lot of revision around that, changing my experience of how I experienced all of that, the way I see, the way I feel, the way I hear those memories. They have changed. Sometimes people think, how could you forgive someone for doing that? Because it feels good. And we are all one. And if I'm not forgiving you, I'm not forgiving myself. So, with that being said, if you are struggling with the state of addiction and you believe in secondary cause and you believe that you need to put conditions on your desires, it's not true. And you can change it. You can change your story. You can change your reality. And if it's something you need support with, reach out and do not hesitate. This one life in this body, this physical body, this beautiful vessel, this vehicle to bring you through life, to carry you through life, why not do and be something wonderful and different? Thank you for listening to my story. And if you enjoyed this, please like it and leave a comment. If you're wanting more videos like this, I will share. I have lots of stories. Namaste.